um, kinds of applications where we use these ceramic materials. So we'll come again, we'll see them again once again. So according to application, how we're going to classify them is the material used for fabrication of those jacket crowns, veneers, post cores, fixed partial dentures, denture teeth. We have orthodontic brackets where we use them to align the teeth. Then we have last but not least implants. Implants are nothing but the artificial replacement for the teeth in itself. So those are called as implants. Those implants can be fabricated with the help of different materials again. They can be made of different alloys of titanium. They can be fabricated with the help of different porcelains, ceramic material, or zirconium dioxide. They can be fabricated with the help of polymers. They can be fabricated with the help of different kinds of other metals, gold, platinum, palladium. Then we have all those kinds of gold, all those things we can fabricate these they can all these different kinds of alloys can be used to fabricate these uh, implants. So ceramics also as one of can be used as can be used for fabricating these implantable materials. So these are different applications according to which we can classify as ceramic material. And the next thing, the simplest thing, according to their transparency, how we can classify them. They can be classified as opaque, they can be classified translucent, and they can be classified as transparent ceramics. So according to transparency, opaque, translucent, and transparent. So these are different uh, types of ceramic materials uh, where we can classify them according to their transparency. So according to microstructure in the sense the crystalline structure, how they exist once we fabricate them. According to that, we have amorphous glass ceramics, we have crystal containing glass. See, amorphous glass is nothing but we have an entire uh, quartz structure where we have less of non-metals, which is a pure glass matrix. That means we have few crystals of non-metals here and there, but the entire there is uh, no crystalline structure at all for this amorphous glass. There is no crystalline structure. We have a super cooled uh, phase of silicon dioxide or quartz and kaolin and feldspar. Into that we have small non-metallic oxide crystals, that is amorphous glass. Crystal containing glass, then we have crystalline porcelain, then we have partially crystalline porcelain. So we can see here glass ceramic. This is the amorphous glass. This was the first castable ceramic where which has been used in dentistry to form jacket crowns. So that is dicor. So this has only an amorphous glass matrix form. There are not much of crystalline phases in this one. Then we have crystalline porcelain, where the matrix has been infiltrated with alumina particles. Alumina is nothing but Al2O3, and the glass matrix form is nothing but our feldspars. Then we have complete crystalline form, where we have total alumina, total zirconium dioxide. So here we have a complete crystalline porcelain. And next we have different kinds of these veneering ceramics, that is feldspathic porcelain. That means two quartz or two feldspar we are adding metallic oxides, or we are adding non-metallic oxides of sodium, potassium and calcium. So this these materials, they can be laid on top of these different uh, crystalline ceramics. So according to microstructure, we have amorphous form, we have partially crystalline form, we have fully crystalline form, then we have crystal infiltrated glass. So four different varieties of ceramics, which they can be grouped in according to their microstructure, that is amorphous glass, crystalline porcelain, partially crystalline porcelain, and crystal containing amorphous glass. So the first one is amorphous glass, then we have crystal containing amorphous glass, then we have partially crystalline porcelain, then we have completely crystalline porcelain. So these are the four different varieties according to the microstructure. According to fusion temperature, that is at what temperature these oxides of non-metallic substances, they fuse together to form the glass matrix or glass structure. The first one being high fusing. So the temperature is being greater than 1300 degrees centigrade. So these things are used for fabrication of artificial heat. Medium fusing, that is 1100 degrees to 1300 degrees centigrade. Again, even this at this fusion temperature, the material what we are going to be used, they are used only for fabrication of artificial heat, both high fusing and medium. In low fusing ceramics, we can use these kind of ceramics for our fixed partial dentures, or for layering of metal substructures or veneers. And ultra low fusion, that is less than 850 degrees centigrade. Even these things, they can be used for layering the metal crowns or porcelain jacket crowns. So according to four different fusion temperatures, or high fusing, medium fusing, low fusing and ultra low fusing. So depending upon what type of material we fuse at that particular temperature, these ceramics can be classified. So according to compositions, how we're going to classify these ceramics. So we can classify them as feldspathic porcelains, lucite based porcelain, lithium based porcelain, alumina porcelain, silica based and zirconia based porcelains. So when we come across these compositions, how we can give different names to different types of ceramic materials. So as we have discussed the first in the first few minutes, the composition of dental ceramics, where we have feldspar, alumina, kaolin, quartz, all those things. So that is a general composition of a ceramic material. But when we are infiltrating that glass matrix with different kinds of non-metallic oxides, so if sometimes we can infuse the glass matrix uh, with sodium, with potassium, with calcium, so they can be called as, the feldspars can be called as soda feldspar or a potash feldspar or a lime feldspar. So these different types of feldspathic porcelains, they can be uh, used for layering purposes. So according to the composition of non-metals we are adding into the glass matrix, so they can be called as a feldspathic porcelain. In the same way, lucite, lucite based porcelain. If lithium dioxide is infiltrated into the glass matrix, it can be called as lithium based porcelains or lithium based ceramics. Aluminous ceramics, that means we are adding alumina, Al2O3, into the glass matrix space. See, why we are adding all these materials, for what different purposes we have this many different kinds of materials, will I'll tell you when I come into the individual composition of different materials. Okay, so according to the composition, we have feldspathic porcelains, lucite based porcelains, lithia based porcelain, aluminous porcelains, pure aluminum. That means there is no glass matrix, only aluminum dioxide is there. That in itself is a ceramic material. And silica based and zirconia based uh, ceramics. So according to composition, or according to different types of non-metal or crystalline phases we are adding to the glass matrix, we can classify them according to their composition. According to processing, that means how we are manufacturing these ceramic materials, how from the raw state, how we are getting a particular type of crystalline structure. So how we are processing that composite, how we are processing that ceramic material. So based on that, we can classify them as uh, condensing and sintering. That is one way of fabricating ceramic. Then we have pressing. Then we have casting. Then we have slip casting. We have computer aided designing and computer aided machining. We have copy milling and machining. So these are the different ways of uh, processing ceramic materials. The first one being condensation sintering. The second one is pressing. Third one is centrifugal casting. The fourth one is slip casting. Then we have computer aided designing and computer aided machining. We have copy milling and machining. So these are different ways where we process, or different ways or different methods of fabricating ceramic material. So the last one, for the classification of ceramic materials, that is where, for what purpose, what how many different types of ceramic materials we use uh, during fabrication of a jacket crown or a fixed partial denture, or for a veneer. So what are different uh, porcelains we use for fabricating an article? That can be a core porcelain, an opaque porcelain, a body or dentine porcelain. We have gingival, neck or cervical porcelain. We have enamel porcelain. We have color plates. We have glazed porcelain. So these are different uh, materials we use to form different parts of a crown. So in that we have core porcelain, we have opaque porcelain, we have body porcelain, we have gingival neck or cervical porcelain, we have enamel porcelain, we have color frits, and we have glaze porcelains. So these are different types or different areas where we use for layering or different ways of uh, using different ceramic materials for fabrication of a structure. That can be an inlay, that can be an onlay, or that can be a jacket crown. So in which portion, that is if a neck portion of a tooth we are fabricating, we use different ceramic. If body portion of a tooth we are fabricating, we use a different ceramic. Incisal edge, to form an incisal edge of a tooth or a crown, we use different types of ceramics. And to give that natural hue or chroma to the tooth, the type of ceramic what we use to form a dentine of a tooth, we use a different ceramics. So different according to the place or position where we are using ceramics, we can classify that. So how they are classified is core porcelains, opaque porcelains, body porcelain or a dentine porcelain, gingival, that is a pink porcelain. We can use ceramics to form a gingival portion of a tooth structure also. Neck or cervical porcelain, enamel porcelain, then the color flits and the glazed porcelains. Glazed porcelains are nothing but we use a, a layer of liquid of porcelain to give that highly polished or lustrous look for the restoration. So when we have to polish them, we have to apply a liquid form of porcelain on top of the jacket crown, and we're going to bake it to give that highly polished look for the restoration.